This episode is presented to you by NFL Sunday Ticket, now on YouTube and YouTube TV. With NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube and YouTube TV, you can watch your favorite teams' out-of-market Sunday games, plus watch up to 4 games at once with Multiview. Don't miss the race to the playoffs. NFL Sunday Ticket is now just $39 when bundled with YouTube TV, where you get even more football. Visit youtube.com/Spotify offer to sign up now. Lowest price on YouTube TV with base plan. Rest of 2023 season. Terms and embargoes apply. No cancellations.
This episode is brought to you by Columbia Sportswear. It's snowing again, and that wind chill is killer. But you're not worried about that because you shop the Omni Heat Infinity Collection. It's warmth perfected with tiny gold dots that reflect your body heat inside and protect you from the cold outside. No snow or chilly temps can stop you now. Go out anyway. Shop the Omni Heat Infinity Collection now at Columbia.com/infinity.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. From your morning podcast to your afternoon playlist, State Farm knows you personalize your entire day. And that's why State Farm helps you personalize your insurance with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It offers coverage options that help protect what you care about most at an affordable price just for you. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Apple Gift Card is a practical gift that unlocks a world of entertainment and fun. You can send it via email or give a physical card to your loved ones. Your friends and family can spend it on their favorite Apple services, including Apple subscriptions. Apple Gift Card can be used to buy all things Apple. Products, accessories, apps, games, movies, TV shows, iCloud Plus, and more. Visit apple.com for details and to send Apple Gift Cards to your friends and family this holiday season.
Anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Back at it again with another episode of the Shades of Blue Soccer Show. I'm Cody Bradley, Thad Bell, Robert Russert are here. It is Super Bowl Sunday. It is kit release week.
Where's David?
Where is David? We lost David.
Damn it, David.
He's gone radio silent for Super Bowl Sunday, I think. Thad, we know you don't care about pointy ball, but it is an exciting day. We got to at least mention the Chiefs. Go Chiefs, go KC.
Cody,
for the
I'm
glory
nervous,
of
man.
the city.
I am nervous. That's why I'm wearing sporting gear instead of Chiefs gear.
I'm nervous. I know I know we're not the underdogs, but it seems like we have a bit of that grind a little bit because the whole country is rooting for the Eagles. So there's a little bit of like an underdog mentality. Because people don't like the Chiefs this year. Everyone's annoyed that how good Patrick Mahomes is. It seems like I don't know.
Is he becoming like the Brady now? I mean,
it's a little bit of
hell
that.
No.
And he even told his brother to shut up this year. We didn't even really see from his brother, and people still hate him. So there's nothing he can do.
I can understand the hate on the brother, but
yeah.
So
Okay.
should I put on a Chiefs thing at some point today?
I'm wearing.
Okay.
I towed both lines here. I'm wearing the red
Uh-huh.
Comets jersey that we got for the media game. So
got the red, but it's not
right in the sweet spot.
the wrong ball.
Right. No pointy ball.
See, I just don't want to invest myself too deeply into this and get emotionally attached. That's why I'm.
But you are regularly a Chiefs fan, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I used to not be. I used to be, then I used to not be. Now I'm kind of slowly sliding back into it, and I still would want them to win because my family wants them to win. My friends want them to win. It's good for the city. I don't hate Philly.
City.
Yeah, so
Thad, we're both from St. Louis, man. I'm not a Rams fan.
No.
And
screw them.
Cardinals are forever gone. So
Any team that's moved in my living memory, screw them.
exactly.
F them.
I am a avid hater of the sport of American football, but I put on for my city, man. Anytime
Is that
the
because
city's
it's
coming
so
together,
big and dominant? Is that
it's
why?
just line up the gameplay of football next to all the other sports. It's just a dumb sport. You know, when I was a little kid, you just as a little boy you make up games to play, right? Like throwing a ball against a wall, whatever. You just make up little games to play. Mm-hmm. But then the more people you bring in to play it, the more you play this game, you see the flaws in it. You have to keep making rules like, well, you can't do that until I touch this. And then it's like, yeah, so you have to keep making these rules to make it playable. And that is what football is.
I get you.
Neutral zone infractions, 10-second runoffs. Like, what? It's a dumb sport.
The rules are so stupidly applied. You can have a holding on every single play.
Nobody knows what a catch is. Like, like referees don't even agree on what a catch is. Like, what are we doing?
Now, we also, okay, in some fairness, man, I'm going to go back to, I just saw like report before the Leeds game came on that Howard Webb, the former head of MLS or pro, that now the head of the officials in England, had to apologize to 2 teams for 2 VAR offside calls being incorrect.
Yeah.
One they called them off when they weren't, and one they called them off or they didn't call them off when they were. And so those rules, even with damn computer science, are still not applied correctly.
I know. And then the absolute charade of these 2 men with these chains running 30 yards out on the field to put these things down and measure a millimeter of, it's like, I just can't believe anyone like takes it seriously.
And it depends on where they set the damn ball down.
Yeah, and
like,
it's a 65-year-old referee spotting that ball from 30 yards away through 15 300-pound bodies, and he's supposed to get it exactly where it is. It's just, and again, just the inherent nature of it, where it's like, if it was closer to rugby, these guys moving this, gaining territory, like, I get that, but it's like sometimes it's
more like true war that way.
We're trying to get this mythical half an inch from where they place the ball, and it's just dumb sport.
And it seems like anytime a receiver fails to catch the ball, it's defensive foul, pass interference.
And then we've got the beautiful game. Can't use your hands and offside. That's it.
Yeah, there's no question marks on that sport. No. And how did I end up in the position of defending the NFL, man?
I don't know. I just keep looking at you. I don't know.
But see, that's why you always have me on this, like, because I'm willing to like defend either side. I just like to argue or debate rather.
Right.
But I try to be fair in my critique. I don't like pointy ball because, oh my God, yeah, we played for 5 seconds and now we got 45 seconds of commercials or people talking about what they might have done.
The TV timeouts. They're just standing there waiting for television to come back. Oh my God, I can't believe it.
An indirect relative, wife's in-law, cousin, second removed, whatever, husband, was the guy at the Chiefs game that wore orange gloves, and he had to hold them up in certain formations, certain patterns that the refs would know there was a TV timeout.
Oh, yeah.
And when they could start the play back up again. So his whole role was like, they radio down to him, and he has these orange hands that say, okay, you can do things. I don't know what the pattern was.
It is insane, the number of jobs like that are just around in the arena of an NFL game. It's just like, it's truly insane, the number of people that are on the field doing one niche job.
I do want to shoot an NFL game one time, just once, just for the experience of it, and then I don't think I probably ever want to go back in there.
All right.
How you doing, Robert? You've been kind of
doing
quiet.
well. Cody tried to drag us back to soccer, but
what
maybe we'll get there now.
You've been researching something over
I'm
here?
reading one of my articles to support something that we may discuss. It's on our agenda. We'll see if we discuss it or not.
Okay, good.
You got to read your own article?
Well, yeah, I got to remind myself.
Okay, so we will get to the Kortne Ford news reluctantly. We will talk about it, what we can do around it. I can't even, I brought the whole room down at even the mention of it. It hurts. It's a punch in the gut. But let's talk about the RSL game, because we have so many highlights to go over. But no, it was
I watched
good.
the whole match. What are you talking about?
We did get to see Johnny Russell's, a beautiful free kick from Johnny Russell, and Willie Agata got a goal in the 2-2 draw.
Yes. Willie got a diving from like 3 feet off the line header goal. So
is there video of that? I have not seen that.
Yeah, it was in the videos.
Oh, what have I been doing?
It wasn't like spectacular, but
No, but it's the kind of goal that you kind of expect Willie to get. It's in the box. There's stuff happening. He's going to dive in, throw his body.
Yep.
Poacher.
Which is why we need another center forward, because at some point Willie's going to get hurt.
I think we can say that for about any important player on this team at this point.
Is that just because he's a Sporting KC player or the way he plays? I think it's just a team.
That might be infected there. Yeah, I don't know.
Hopefully, Gotti Kinda's ready when Eric Tommy goes down, right?
Wait, is Tommy healthy? I haven't seen him for a while.
Good God, is this team snake bit or is it just me? I don't know.
It feels like it. All right, we're there. The Kortne Ford news. Kortne Ford will miss the entirety of this season.
Yes.
With an Achilles injury. He just had surgery on the Achilles. Ruptured Achilles, which that's one of those that I hear that, ruptured Achilles, and I get sympathy pains. Like, I legitimately feel it. It's like, gives me the willies.
Have you hurt your Achilles? Or?
I've never ruptured it. I've had a sore Achilles before, and it put me on the ground for a long time. So,
yeah, you can't walk right for a while.
Yeah.
I wonder how that'll affect his holy socks.
Yeah, I saw a suggestion of that the two were linked, that he was, we talked to him about the holes in his socks and had something in, blood flow and circulation, all that. And I saw a suggestion of a tweet that the signs were all there that this could have happened. I think that's quite a stretch. A ruptured Achilles in a game is just a thing.
Yeah, I don't think that's directly connected. I mean, if it was a calf injury, you could maybe, yeah. But
no,
agreed.
That's just one of those injuries that
kind of perplexing thought there.
Yeah,
I'm more afraid that Kortne is snake bit because he's had multiple injuries previously, mostly knee, I believe.
Right.
And it just, he's had obviously all of the challenges in his career, and it just seemed like he was poised to do it. I think we were all rooting for him. He filled in, admirably last year whenever he could.
It's the exact word I was thinking.
Oh, really? Yeah. I wasn't sure if admirably was too strong, but no, it was admirably. And I think
it wasn't spectacularly.
Right,
exactly.
But I think everyone was really rooting for him. It seemed like he was going to be one of the guys this year to go to, and this hurts as a fan of the team and for the player.
Yeah, I wish him speedy recovery and hope to see him next year. But now, what does Sporting do? They signed.
What is his contract?
Oh, damn you! It's a good question,
Robert. That up for me.
Yes, boss.
Chris Rindolph is the draft pick, center back draft pick that they just signed. The first draft pick that was signed in several years. But if that is the answer to this new hole we have at center back, I think a lot of the fans are going to be quite discouraged by that.
This episode is brought to you by Google Pixel, the official fan phone of the NBA and WNBA. The new Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro are built different. How? Take the Audio Magic Eraser tool. It helps block out distracting crowd noise so your play-by-play commentary sounds crystal clear. The only phone engineered by Google brings out the audio you care about so your videos sound as crisp as they look. Learn more at googlestore.com/Pixel NBA. Audio Magic Eraser requires Google Photos app. May not work on all audio elements.
Introducing Royal Caribbean's newest ship, Icon of the Seas, the ultimate family vacation. The ultimate 6 slides, 8 neighborhoods, 0 compromise vacation. The ultimate never done that, can't wait to do it vacation. The ultimate chillin' by a different pool every day of the week vacation. This is the Icon of Vacations. Icon of the Seas, arriving in 2024. Book today. Come seek the Royal Caribbean. Ships Registry, Bahamas.
Well, it was always a worry when there was only 3 center backs under contract. And then when the 4th center back is under contract, it's like, well, okay, great. There's a little bit of coverage, but I have faith that they feel like he can do a job. I just don't have any faith with any guy coming out of college to step in right away. I've heard very good things about him, I'll be honest, but that's also potentially a little bit of positive spin there.
Well, and we heard in the Vermes' last press conference that he did say a center back was coming. We didn't know how good of one.
Right.
So, maybe I'm a relentless optimistic, but it is still possible.
It is.
That's not the signing that he was referring to.
it is very possible. And even if it wasn't, I think they probably are going to be a little more reaching for one right now. Because, I mean, you can still bring them in. The window's open, and it's just now the problem is, do you overpay for them? Do you end up on a bad contract because you bring somebody in who maybe isn't going to be a starter? It's a lot of question there. And I don't know how much money they have open. I know David put out a good article on some potential options out there, so go read that.
Yeah, Mike was the first one to begin diving into the MLS free agents that might be available. And oh no, it is not a happy list. I don't even remember any of the other names on it except Geoff Cameron.
That's the one that sticks out.
I saw Geoff Cameron, and I just gave up on the whole idea. I thought we all agreed as a U.S. soccer fan base that Geoff Cameron was no more.
Well, yeah, no. He used to be a very good center back.
He was playing in MLS, and I was still trying to just act like he wasn't there anymore. He's just, I don't know why I pick on him so much, because, like, Michael Bradley and Altidore and all those other guys, but Geoff Cameron just embodies that whole failure of the, and like he was one of the better players on that team, and I liked him at the time. I can't disassociate those two. I think of Geoff Cameron, and I think of that horrible failure letdown.
The Trinidad stench.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same about Geoff Cameron. Like, if that was the only option, yeah, you bring him in, but he would be like the fourth center back. And I don't remember him having a ton of speed. He was good in the air, wasn't he, at one point?
Yeah, big dude. He should have been decent.
I remember standing next to him one time and looking well up to him.
He would score goals. When I was doing Yanks Abroad, he'd get a header every now and then.
But since his time over there, it's just been pretty much downhill.
So just a reminder, this does leave the starting center backs at the moment. They're the top two on the depth chart, Andreu Fontes and Robert Voloder. Voloder was signed before last year as the U22, saw some good time, but saw some
questionable.
Saw some bad times as well.
I just found Kortne Ford's contract expires at the end of this season. I'm sorry, expired at the end of last season. He had an option for this year, and he's an option for next year. So he's on his first option year.
Yeah. And I know in some of the preseason highlights that I think the opponents put out on one of those games, it did not look like Voloder, Robbie.
Voloder.
I think he made a couple of mistakes. He might have been put in a bad situation because I think it was him because the video was not that great. But Zusi had a restart down in there, Sporting's in, and he played it across the box to whoever's over there. I don't think they were expecting it. And then somebody also on that side, I don't know if it was the left back or Robbie but I heard somebody say it was Robbie that then made a pass essentially to 5 feet forward to the opponent.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was Louisville.
I saw Zusi's attempt at that cross. That was, and it's normally his just right in his wheelhouse is that beautiful cross-field ball, and I don't know what happened there.
I mean, whoever it was over there looked about as bad as Harry Maguire.
Okay, so guys, when I first heard this news, it's like, all right, a season of promise could just fall apart right here. I mean, Radoya hasn't played in the preseason yet. If he does get fit, are they going to put him back at center back? I don't know. Is Sweat going to become a center back? I just shudder at the thought of Voloder and Fontes being our center backs. And it's just like this team is just not strong up the spine. It just isn't.
Well, if it was Fontes and somebody else, is that fine? Voloder's the worry there, right?
Well, the combination of the two. Neither are athletic. It's the combination. I just don't see that working very well.
Yeah, and somebody does need to be athletic.
Is athletic. He's just not fast. He's very slow.
Okay.
Swift is not his middle name.
Yeah.
Who's going to clear crosses into the box out of those two?
Hopefully Robbie.
Or is Kyrie Shelton the answer here? Let's throw that out there.
Another one I thought we all agreed to forget about.
But no, seriously, does it make you kind of just think, oh, this season of promise is just going to fall apart? Or am I being too pessimistic?
Maybe we should start with that premise, and then everything is up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't have to start strong. You have to finish strong. And when they're going to have like 18 teams make the playoffs this year, maybe.
Okay, but isn't that fallacy? Hasn't that been shown to be a fallacy? How come every time at the end of the season, we're like, damn, if we had won games earlier in the year, we wouldn't be in this position?
It's because they didn't win enough games earlier in the year.
Right, exactly. So it's not always how you finish.
Well, it is and it isn't. I mean, you have to do something during the year. I mean, but we've seen that a lot of times with the Galaxy. They would be terrible in the first half, and then the summer window would open, and they'd bring in somebody, and then they would finish really strong. But you can't. You can't not win anything in the first half of the year.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. But you guys were discussing it. Do they have time to bring in somebody, or are we going to have to wait till the summer window to bring in a center back?
Well,
time.
I'll be the optimistic one here. I was already expecting at some point, whether it was before the season or midway through the season, I think the team is more than aware that they needed to sign a good center back. And I don't think that has changed. Like, nothing has changed there. Like, I think they're still looking. I think they still want to. And I think they still will eventually. I mean, yes, this sucks right now. It might have to wait until summer if the window closes, but like, yeah, they'll get a center back. So
haven't they known this since October?
Well, you act like, oh, we just need a center back real quick. We'll just sign one.
No, I'm not acting that way. I'm like, are we going to have to wait because we can't do it now? I mean, I don't want to, like you guys said, rush into a signing.
The window's not closing anytime soon. It just opened.
Right.
Yeah. Obviously, it is a bad situation, but I still think that they're going to bring someone in that is not Geoff Cameron.
Please. I think they have plenty of time to bring somebody in. Okay. Yeah. I mean, thing with Peter is he will try his best to not bring in somebody who he doesn't think will fit.
Right.
And it's happened,
especially
obviously.
After what's his name last year?
Jose Maury.
Ugh.
Which, by the way, played like his second game with his team in Argentina, and he went like 31 minutes in it and got subbed out. So I don't know if that's a pattern. I don't know if he was hurt. I don't want to make fun of if he was hurt. If he was just terrible, then I'm willing to make a little fun of it.
Voinovich is another name there.
Yeah, even him, man. I feel bad for him because he came in, didn't have a good chance to work with the team, was thrown into the spot when they didn't have a 10, all this other stuff. And I don't think he was that bad. It's just that once they had a chance to get somebody different, they had to make the move. So I think if he was stuck around, if he was still on the team, he might be the third center back, the third forward right now. And
I just mean, I think those two examples, that is why Peter Vermes is not going to want.
Yeah, he doesn't want to just do something out of panic, and this is a situation where you need to make a move. Don't make a really, really bad move because that hampers you for the future. Last year they made I don't want to say a panic move, but they brought in Tommy and Agata, and we feel that those are both really good moves that could bode well for the future. We have to see them this year to make sure that that's true. But I mean, that's why you got to be careful about it. You just don't want to do that. I'm starting to ramble, but I was trying to go towards a point. I do feel there's probably a good chance, I'll say a 70% chance, 80% chance that a center back is coming in the next month. Maybe not before the season starts. Maybe not in time for losing a couple of games because of some bad defensive things. And people go, oh, it was a panic move. I think they have people in mind, and they might have to be – with this situation with teams in Europe playing and the way the window is in MLS, you might be able to wait a month and have a team that's not doing well and be able to get one of their players for a cheaper price. Robert's looking at me like, yeah, right.
Robert's sitting over here like, yeah.
Well, I mean, a couple of things. I mean, okay, so let's go. The Maori situation, obviously. Situation with Alan Polito, and I'm looking at players, that form a spine of a team, in this forward situation. Snake bit, sure. But these issues of the spine, holding midfielder, center back, have been issues for more than recent times. Yeah. They've been issues for 5 years now. When you look at statistics as far as defense goes, transition defense in the playoffs especially, et cetera. So is it just a lack of planning, or is it that this team is just snake bit with these situations that have happened?
Or a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the roles you're talking about there, the holding midfield, is I think one of the hardest things to find especially if you're Peter Vermes and the way he plays is very specific demands he has from that role. So yeah, that's one that is just a difficult spot to find. A good starting striker, that's every team on the planet is always trying to find that.
Right, and then, what happens with Polito? He's injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you included it in the spine, but the other, an attacking midfielder in there. Also just an injury that you can't necessarily chalk up to planning, I guess. But
And everybody's going, well, there should have been more depth.
yeah.
But there's okay, Man City can go out and buy 100 players. Chelsea can go out and buy $600 million worth of players and still suck. And MLS, you can only buy so many players. And there is a salary cap.
Well,
there's not oil money.
The salary cap, but then the roster limitations,
Right.
more than anything. You meant the teams we're watching here on TV right now in the Premier League have like a roster size like twice as big, don't they? And so I think
their official roster is not, but I mean they have players that they own that are on loan and stuff like that. So
yeah.
Okay, I won't take credit for this idea, but I mean, it's a relevant idea. Somebody in our comments said, okay, then in the face of this situation, doesn't the Ronaldo chase seem ridiculous?
It always seemed ridiculous, didn't it? I think it always did. I think it was just one of those, if it was there that you had to like shoot your shot, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, of course. Like how ridiculous.
But isn't our shot at winning MLS Cup, winning trophies, isn't that what this team's about? And they've always said that ownership is willing to spend the money. Well, spend the money to get you a strong spine, get you that holding midfielder or that combination of midfielders like an LAFC has, and they have a great combination of players in there that do that job. And that's what Sporting needs in my mind, is a combination of three players, not Roger Espinosa, 30, whatever years old he is, and, some guy playing holding midfielder that's not consistent or playing out of position, Remy Walter. Tommy's a good addition, of course.
Yeah,
and you buy that center back because they're willing to spend the money, what we've been told. You want to win championships,
yeah, but you
got to solve those two issues.
You can only spend money in so many spots.
Right.
They already have 3 DPs.
And they've got
right
the $10 million on the book. I guess it's a while ago now at this point, but they did throw some money down. Just a reminder there. We threw some money down.
Right,
He's been right the whole time.
Which is the argument against spending a whole bunch of money in one spot.
Right.
And I don't think
like I said, the mix of those three midfielders is what is crucial.
And you mentioned LAFC. Seattle is the one that like really, as much as I hate to say it, that's the one where if you just line up the midfields, that's just where it seems like they got a fifth midfielder that can outplay
exactly
what we have. No. So yeah, that is where I'm not disagreeing with you in any way. It's just the reminder of like,
oh Cody, we're here to disagree, man. That's why we're here.
Yeah, I don't know. Just sometimes you hear just someone complaining and being like, oh, just spend some money and go find a world class midfielder to play in MLS.
Well, we're not going to get a world class. We know that,
and a Premier League center back, and
and all the places in the world, there's got to be players who can do this job for us and give us some depth. There's got to be.
There are. Again, one of the issues though is that unlike the other American sports, is everybody is competing for those exact same people.
Oh yeah.
All those teams do not necessarily have salary caps. I mean, some of those leagues do or have versions of it. Some leagues some teams are more wealthy than others. Some have entire Middle Eastern countries backing them, and don't worry, they'll be relegated soon. All of that going on, and MLS is different. And I completely think that a couple of MLS teams are cheating the books a little bit or have, and they'll get punished at some point. Inter Miami, LAFC.
Reckless speculation here.
It is speculation. It's not like I'm going to go into a court of law and say this. And with Sporting, if you look at when Peter Vermes' teams have been the best, there's certain traits to them, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it always has to be that way, but it is a Vermes team. Is you're going to have a center back that plays the ball well. You're going to have a center back that is athletic and get back well. You're going to have at least one outside back that gets forward and plays with basically is more of a forward, a winger than they are a defender. A center, the other back has to stay home and be a good defender reasonably and can cover the slower center back. You have a defensive mid who, if they're not a great ball player, they're a very good ball winner and a short ball player, but it's been better when they can at least play the ball better. You have a Roger Espinoza type player in the midfield. You have a creative 8, because Sporting doesn't really play with true 10s. So a Benny Feilhaber type who sometimes played the 6.
So what's your point then?
You got to have that right mix of
You're
players.
rambling again.
It's that right mix of players. It hasn't always been a super strong 9. Sometimes really well teams play worse when they have an amazing number 9, even though they have about $12 billion worth of players.
I never said anything about getting an amazing number 9.
No,
I'm
I'm
the
rambling.
defense right.
I
Get it right.
I agree, but it's all those different pieces, and when one or two of them screw up, it sucks. They brought in Yuri to be that 6 behind Maui.
And the funny thing about
Maui.
that is, right, last year I was like, Yuri's not the answer, and you and Sperry were like defending him to the hilt, and I'm like, oh, come on. Yuri's not the answer.
I didn't think he was the answer, but he was supposed to be the backup.
I know, the backup answer.
He was the backup answer.
Yeah, and honestly, if he was only playing every once in a while or playing the double pivot or some of that stuff, maybe they can bring him back as a center back.
Oh, Lord. But why haven't these issues been satisfied and made better in 5 years' time? I hate to say it. I know the whole Iko Parra situation was, but it's gone downhill in center backs since Ike left, and it's just the way it is.
Well, he only played another year anyway.
They haven't made a good center back pairing since.
They spent a lot of money on Fontes.
Right.
Izzy.
They brought in a young U22 DP.
Right, but they're going into this season depending on Kortne Ford,
who's
history, and then you've got.
I know, I understand. I'm just reminding that it's like, it's not, things have not worked in the past. Like I think they would have hoped that Voloder was maybe further along this year. And it's, they.
Hey, I realize this is all difficult to do. I get it. And then I don't know what's going on with negotiations, with a new center back. I get it. I'm just saying, come on, people.
Yeah,
it's frustrating.
Of course.
It is frustrating. But I guess I think we're just mostly defending on the side of it's not as easy as it always sounds. Like,
I know.
It's easy to go get these guys.
Oh, yeah, sure.
There's thousands of these guys out there. Well, yeah, but every team wants those guys. Everybody wants that 6.
I just want this team, our team, this city's team, to be winning the trophies that they say they are after.
Do you think they're not trying?
No, I don't think they're not trying.
Okay, then,
I know
I'm
it's
not
difficult.
saying you don't still...
I'm just saying for 5 years we've had the same issues in defense and they haven't been solved.
They have tried, and I think it might go back to your snake bit issue, but...
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. I'm just frustrated, guys.
I think we're just going to keep saying the same things.
Okay.
I like to argue, but that doesn't necessarily mean we...
It is kit release week. Thursday, the 16th. The new kit will drop. Are they doing there's a party? Is it at an unveiling gathering?
No.
Are they not doing that this year?
No, because the team's not in town. The team goes back, I think, Wednesday.
They're having a thing at Compass Minerals.
Oh, they are?
Pinnacle. Yeah.
Well, you can
go buy the jersey. And
you can go buy it, and then
Yeah.
if you do something, you can go to some kind of party. I don't know, but it's not like the traditional the teams there. They'll introduce them and the kit the same time and.
Okay, well,
it's mandated by Adidas when it has to be released.
We are talking with longtime friend of the pod, Chad, and we're gonna have the design team come back on as our yearly kit release pod. One of our most listened, one of our favorites of the year.
Do we know when we're doing that yet?
It's looking Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know why we don't necessarily need to have this scheduling conversation on the air here, but yeah, it's looking like Tuesday or Wednesday. We're going to get to see the jersey before all of you. I was hoping that we could do it for this Sunday and see it way early, so I had more time to brag to people that I had already seen it. But
you haven't seen it?
Oh, shut up. You haven't seen it either. Get out of here.
Seen a collar, apparently.
Yeah, on that note, footy headlines. The leader in kit leaks, who you have to imagine desperate for some Sporting KC leaks, who has become known to be very good at this. They reached hardcore and literally wrote an article said kit leak collar leak and shorts leak, and it's like it was a picture we've all seen already. There's nothing new there. So, okay, cool. They
Does
saw
somebody
a
get
little-
paid by article they write there?
And there's no leak. Like, it was a picture. Like, we all saw the picture.
And then a mock-up somebody did of an idea, right? Because that wasn't it wasn't what they said it was going to be. It was like an idea.
I just love that so much. Like, so many Sporting KC fans are just like waiting for that Footy Headlines article, and they're always trying to get Sporting KC, and they were just like, you know what, we have nothing. Let's just we're just gonna go with it anyway. But yes, so look out for that on Thursday. We're not gonna be able to release it any sooner than that, obviously. So Chad is always a good listen.
Yeah, because we'll sit there and grill them about why they made those choices, and how long it's been.
It's just really fascinating. All that goes into it is wildly fascinating, and
yeah, because it's never as easy as like the people who just. I mean, people have some very great creative designs out there, but there's always a lot more to it with how the logo has to be and the requirements by MLS competition committees and
I recall the release, or I think the one 2 years ago that we were doing with him, he indicated that I believe it was this year that he was very excited for this year's one to come out.
I believe that's true.
And he was teasing. He was like, the next one's good, but like, man, the one after that is like the one we're really excited, because they work on these. They have a plan 3 years in advance because they're so on top of this. I don't imagine all the other teams do, but I think Chad and his team and what Sporting is doing is on another level.
And then I would say that if there's leaks out there, don't put too much into it, because a bad picture. I mean, I've seen pictures of jerseys that was taken by a phone off of a computer and stuff like that. Those are terrible, and don't show the jerseys as well. I always try to like judge it when I see what the team actually releases, and then have a new judgment in person, because that's two different things.
Well, I always wait until I see it on a broadcast. That's the real key there.
So the current, or the one that's going to remain, is a dark blue, or whatever that color is called.
The state line,
the
whatever number that.
Right. So what main color do you think this will be? Or you think it's going to be a stripe thing, or what?
I don't know, but here's my prediction. The state line on the last kit was so faint, and I think they are going to incorporate a faint state line into all jerseys going forward.
I wouldn't mind that.
I think it'll be a subtle hint of the state line in all jerseys. It's going to be our thing.
Do you think this one will be Argyle, or have some kind of Argyle something to it?
I don't know. That's a good question though. Is the reason why does everyone think that? Is it because the jacket they had has the three things on it?
Yeah.
Because they've been using that Argyle in like the old jersey has the Argyle like in the neckline,
right.
and they've sold gear with the three diamonds of Argyle for a long time. So if that's all it's basing on, then I don't know.
Usually when those new jackets and hats come out, there's some nod to what the jersey will look like, the next jersey, right? And then I know Chad will say every time that, the tweets and the Instagram posts, they have nothing to do with what we're doing. Well, yeah, but
website branding is you can always get hints from.
But you can it does show hints, because there is a brand that they're doing. So I mean, I know Chad will say it doesn't have anything to do with it, but it does. And so that's why I think people are reading into it. There's been, unless they're just intentionally trying to fake us out now, which I wouldn't totally be surprised.
Yeah.
But there's been some Argyle type of hints, the diamonds. If you don't want to say Argyle, that's more like diamonds. Yeah. But there's also been some graduated look to it. So I mean, there's a lot of things. Like if I was designing, I would love to do something that has those diamonds in it. And again, this is not saying it is or anything. Like I have no actual idea what it is, but you could do something where it's graduating to get just a little bit darker towards the bottom of that diamond pattern. Things like that.
We don't know right now, but just a reminder, we will know before all of you. Just wanna get my credit there.
Cody's bragging.
Okay. Any final thoughts here before we go about our Super Sundays? I got people coming over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do some grilling out.
I'm making tacos. Just normal. I mean, most years I've made like chili or something, like a lot more work. This year it's just tacos.
Soft tacos?
Actually, it'll be both.
So how do you know if it's a burrito or a taco?
The size of the tortilla. I got little tortillas right over there, man. They're right behind you.
I don't want to start a rumble on that conversation again.
So 2 weeks from today, we'll be discussing the opening match.
We're getting there.
Man,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Only one preseason game to go, I think.
Yeah, that's against.
Energy is building every week. I can feel it.
Who's that against? It's because it's against a USL team, I believe. I'm trying to remember who now. Anyway, it's don't read too much into like the lineups until the first day. And let's see, other news. KC Current had players called up to the U23 women's national team, playing a couple games. The AD French up with the senior national team for the She Believes Cup. Canada is being forced into playing.
Yeah, that's a weird situation.
They went on strike, and then they were told that they can't legally strike. They can't legally strike in Canada. I'm like, they're not in Canada. Can't they legally strike in America? But I don't know those laws, so screw. Let's see. Casey Comments made
I was gonna say, how about Riggett?
I know.
Riggett.
I was getting there, man.
5 goals in his opener.
Yeah, he was a big, huge trade. The Comments made with Harrisburg. Harrisburg had picked up Zach Reggett from Florida. The guy coming in when they made the trade to the Comets, he had 88 goals in 88 games in regular season play, and
Steve Zunkel-ish.
40 some odd assists in regular season play. But I thought one of the more important things is in playoffs, he had 10 goals in 9 games, showing that and 6 or 7 assists, showing that he plays even as well when he's facing the better teams.
Steve Zunkel is just a perfectly comedic name. I love that.
I just wanted to cover the other teams there real quick. And the other outdoor teams will be starting up shortly too.
You getting excited?
Yeah.
Go Sporting!
Don't seem so tough. And 3 own goals ain't all that rough. Our skipper has just been sent off. Supporters strong have all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin. Anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me